The Lord has lately been really working with me and talking to me about the dangers of compromise. And the book of Daniel, I made this note years ago, 12 chapters of never, ever being willing to compromise in the book of Daniel.
Amen.
This man absolutely refused to compromise.
If anybody ever had an excuse to compromise, it would be Daniel.
Well, yeah, he was in trouble all the time. Yeah. But when they said you can't pray, he just opened the windows and prayed anyway.
And when they put him in the lion's den, I guess he just walked in there.
One time I heard the Lord say this. I heard it inside me ask me a question. He said, who ruled and controlled Babylon? I said, Nebuchadnezzar. He said, no, Daniel. Yeah. Through prayer and intercession, different kings, but he was in authority because he refused to compromise on anything. Now, I want to look, first of all, we're going to the first chapter of Daniel, but I want to make note of this in the 6th chapter of Daniel. It pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 princes, which should be over the whole kingdom, and over these 3 presidents, whom Daniel was first, that the princes might give account unto them, the king should have no damage. Then this Daniel was preferred above the presidents and princes because an excellent spirit was in him, and the king thought to set him over the whole realm. Amen. An excellent spirit.
He had favor.
An excellent spirit was in him. Yes. And that excellent spirit was a never compromised spirit. Whatever God said, that's it. He just wouldn't compromise. He would change before God, but he wouldn't change before men. Amen. Amen. So, and now let's go over to the first chapter of Daniel, and we'll see why this took place in the 8th chapter. Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. He purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself. Now, you may need to purpose in your heart right now that you're not going to touch alcohol anymore. He refused to do that. He refused to drink their wine. And he refused to eat their meat. So what did he require? In the 12th, he said, prove thy 12th verse, but beseech ye 10 days, and let them give us pulse to eat, or vegetables. Pulse, vegetables to eat, and water to drink.
In other words, he was fasting, was he?
Well, no, he just wouldn't eat their fancy food. All that stuff, just no telling what it was. But he's a Jew, and he wasn't about to eat what they put out there. So he said, no, I'll take vegetables and water, but I'm going to drink your wine. Now, what's he doing here? He refused to compromise his diet. And when you come to that place where you refuse to compromise your diet, and you don't eat what the world says is good, and you go in this direction, you can have a meat-based diet with plants added, vegetables added, or the way Yvonne Banda feeds us. Well, I have a plant-based diet that includes meat. So it's not meat-based, it's plant-based.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And my weight is stable.
Yeah.
But you have to have the exercise that goes along with it. So, but he purposed in his heart. Now that's the big thing here. He purposed in his heart. What's he saying? I'm not going to compromise this. I know from what my God has already taught. I know what we're supposed to eat. And I know what we're not supposed to eat. Those food laws were way back in the book of Leviticus. And there were certain things that God set up and included in the law because he had already said the time, the life of man shall be 120 years. Yes. And so to live that long, and you know, medical science, without the Bible or anything else, said, you know, the physical body, if you could take the head off of it, would live 120 years.
Well,
yeah.
I don't think you can do that.
No, they don't live any time without that. There was a Chinese doctor talking to my dad. It's so funny, and he was a medical doctor, but he's a Chinaman. And he said to my dad, he said, very easy, heal body, take head off, get well, put head back. Hey, you think too much. But anyway, the whole course here and our whole class will be, don't ever compromise the word and don't ever quit.